Do you play trading card games? Of course you do. That's why you're listening to / watching this thing. If you want to save money on your trading card purchases, we have a promo link over at 50cards.shop. Enter the promo code ATNIGHT to get 5% off your order. Hey everybody, welcome to Nexus at Night, your weekly Vanguard podcast. I'm Atlas.
I'm Matt.
I'm root beer.
And I am drinking a boba the size of my head right now because my girlfriend came home with boba, and I guess they had Big Chungus as an option for sides. Or
I don't think it's that thing.
They're quite large.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure Big Chungus is just the default size at the shop near me.
It's XL.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? That's like the normal.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you get anything else?
Right?
I love when you go to like a fast food place or a Starbucks or whatever. They're like, "Do you want medium or large?" I'm like, "Don't you like? You don't. There's no medium without a small and a large in between."
Well, I mean, there was a small at one point. That was the thing.
Yeah, and then they
And
discontinued
then people
it.
stopped buying the small one.
Yeah, but if you say small or large, they're like,
They'll just give you a kid's cup.
yeah, exactly. No, and then you're the asshole because then you're
Mhm.
like, there's no, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're doing the Premium Collection 2022. We've hinted at, talked about a little bit of the reveals here and there. We're going through the whole thing. First, I just wanted to make an announcement. We now have playmats, Nexus at Night playmats for sale on Inks
Whoa.
Gaming. There will be links down there in the description / show notes. They're very nice. We took commissions on them, so I just wanted to thank Richard Pugh for designing the playmat because he very graciously did that for us. So, huzzah! All right, let's kick it off with that Royal Paladin.
Yeah, so we got Stunned Divine Knight Eurogeus. So it is a grade 4 15k, which all of them are. When this unit attacks, Counterblast 1, turn a card from G-Zone face up, draw the same number of cards as the number of your rear guards, then call the same number from your hand as the number drawn, and then if you have 5 or more rear guards, get a Force Gift.
I originally thought this had to call 5 to get the Force Gift. Apparently, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You just have to have 5 rear guards, which, I mean...
Which, although the way it's previously worded, you do have to call 5, because if you have 5 rear guards already, then you have to draw 5, call 5, and then you get the Force Gift.
What kind of
and
shit
call
is
them,
this?
I see.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's much worse.
Yeah. Well, okay, but for the Force Gift to happen, you have to have, what, minimum 3 on board?
No, you have to have 5. You draw the exact same number as you already have.
No. To get the Force Gift, you need to have 3, because you would draw 3, call 3, and
no,
then
you have to call the same number as the number of cards drawn.
Yeah, but listen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to, like, let's say you have 3 rear guards,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
2 open spots. You draw 3.
Then you don't have to call over all of them.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, you just need 3 rear guards to get the Force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
that's like the minimum needed to get the Force.
Yeah, you have to call them.
Mm-hmm.
You have to call 5 no the number of cards you draw. That's so weird.
Yeah.
What a bizarre stipulation.
Yeah.
Imagine if the card was just a draw 5.
I wish.
That'd be so cool.
It kind of reminds me of, like, Agnos, like I said before, but also I feel like this is tailor-made to work in Jewel Knights, which are all about, like, calling over each other and then going back in deck and then doing it again.
100%.
Yep.
Also, like, it happens to work against Gridora.
Oh,
True.
that's pretty funny. Okay.
That is true. It does call from hand.
That is not so...
That's
It's like the...
pretty much the only reason to use this card over, like, Twin Sword.
Yeah. Actually, looking at this now. This kind of... like, the knight kind of has a little bit of an insect-looking appearance to it, a little bit.
I disagree. I think you're
I think it looks like a knight.
Yep. With
it just has... I think just because of the whole carapace aesthetic that
you mean the armor?
have. Yes, but also for insects, it's called the carapace.
Uh-huh.
Whatever. Fine. Moving on.
All right.
Still me.
Still
Happiness Spinning Nanda Dragon King. So, this is the OTT stride. Its ability is turn a card from G-Zone face up. Reveal top of your deck equal to the number of face-up cards in your G-Zone plus 2. Call all of the normal units, and then put all trigger units in your hand. Then activate the trigger effects.
Very gold paladin of them.
Yes. Like,
I don't know. My stock on this card's gone up a little bit since I first saw it. But I think it being free is pretty nice.
Yeah. Like, being free is pretty nice. It sucks that calling the normal units is mandatory. It puts it in an awkward place where you have to, like, kind of set up your board to, like, find the things you want, but not too much in case you have to call over stuff.
Yeah, I think the idea here is that it's convenient for just digging through your deck, which if you're not looking for particularly anything, but just to, like, go through cards, it's pretty effective at doing that.
Yeah.
I think something to keep in mind with this set in general is that the goal with a new wave of support is for something to be made that fills a role that wasn't there before. Whether that's power creeping something older or just filling a niche that wasn't filled before. And I think this
is a first stride that isn't Momo.
Yeah, and also does not require you to be, like, ahead in card advantage.
Yeah. That is the nice thing about this card, is that it just gains you advantage no matter what. Also, just shove 4 copies of Amaterasu in the deck.
Oh yeah, you just play Susano and Amaterasu, right?
There it is, yeah.
I don't know, I've also seen people... What was that one Magus card that had an ability on Ride?
They're Magus cards? Dang.
I'm trying to remember which one it is. It's not Hexagonal. No, it was Hexagonal Magus.
We just start throwing shapes out there. Vaguely humanoid Magus.
Yeah, that's the one that's like on play, look at top 2, put it on top of deck in any order, and then draw a card. I think the only reason people play that is because it says draw a card.
Hey, card advantage is card advantage. One of my favorite things about Vanguard being like the last vestige of people quitting other TCGs is seeing Yu-Gi-Oh players come here and see how little card advantage matters here as opposed to in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right.
What? It draws 6. That's got to be amazing. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So Holy Seraph Zafkiel for Angel Feather. This gal. She's act once per turn on Vanguard Circle. Discard a card from your hand. Choose a total of up to 3 cards from your drop or circles other than Vanguard, i.e. damage or rearguard, and put them in your damage zone face up. All of your front row units get plus 10k until end of turn for each normal unit put. And this unit gets plus 1 drive until end of turn for each trigger unit put. Choose a card from your damage zone for each card put and heal it.
All right.
Okay.
So this can countercharge 3 if you do that right. Like, even that on its own is really good. But the making your board huge or getting extra drives off of that is really nice. Like, I think the Dolden one there is 2 triggers, 1 normal unit. And
probably. Nice
10k to the front, quintuple drive. Gets you a lot of, card advantage. And then also, like, this sort of reminds me of Managar Malrum for Great Nature, where the goal, like, it gives you power or drive checks, except this you get to choose instead of being victim to milling stuff.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
And this card is fine.
Yeah. Like, obviously it exists to, like, set up your damage zone for other plays.
Maybe it's something like Counterblast 3 for some reason.
I mean, there are a bunch of things that just say Counterblast a million because they assume you're going to heal the damage.
Yeah, it seems to me that they want Angel Feather to be kind of this infinite resource deck, but it really lacks a lot of pressure.
I think that's kind of it and OTT have that same problem.
You have to be able to win games, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially with how fast things are. Like, Angel Feather just lacks any kind of winning turn, right? Like, are you going to do 7 door your opponent?
It could. All you need is 3 attacks and rip your opponent's hand.
Could you imagine? All right. So, anything else on that card?
I don't know. Like, it certainly exists.
All right. Let's continue with Shadow Paladin. So we have Dark Knight Crom Crack. How do you pronounce this card? Crom Crua. Okay, sure. Cromqua. I don't know how to say this card. Anyways, so it's an act where you can retire 2 rear guards. Your opponent chooses 3 of their rear guards and retire them. If 3 cards were not retired, it gets a red text skill at the end of the battle it attacked. You counterblast 1, retire 2 rear guards, stand this unit. And it also gets power plus 1,000. That was like a separate thing.
Yeah.
It's not part of the red text. I'm not sure why it's not first. I feel like it would be a
Yeah.
clear card if it were first.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to retire 4 rear guards total for this, right?
Yep.
But it keeps its drive checks.
Mm-hmm.
And you need it, but in order to get it active, you have to make sure your opponent's under 3.
Yeah, under 3, because if 3 cards were not retired.
This card's like kind of a lot, right?
Yeah. This card is a
Sorry.
restander version of Phantom Blaster Diablo.
Yeah, this card like conflicts like spectral, right?
Mm-hmm.
But has a lot of has some setup cost required. Because you have to retire 2, you have to already have your opponent in a position where they can't retire 3 to get the restand.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's retire 2 of yours, retire 3 of theirs, get 10k, this card sucks.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not high in thinking that.
Yeah. Retire 2 to retire 3 and it gets plus 10k. At least Phantom Blaster Diablo got 10k and a crit.
Yeah.
Right? I think you just play not even you. I wouldn't necessarily play Diablo, right? Instead of doing this, you would just do spectral, right?
Yeah.
The old resender.
Yeah.
Because it has less of a condition. I don't know. I think this card's pretty mid-minus.
Yeah. What are the conditions for Spectral Blaster?
I think the other problem is Shadow Strides are already pretty good.
Yeah. It's really hard to out-compete Morfessa.
Yeah.
So, and there's not really anything else you can do to fulfill a niche that wasn't there.
I'm sorry, does this even out-compete Raging Form, though?
No.
Somehow, no. I don't think so.
Yeah.
The problem is, it has the exact same additions as, Phantom Blaster Diablo, where, if your opponent does not have the 3, then you get a powerful effect. But, at least Diablo got a crit, so it had that going for it if you didn't get the condition off. This one only gets the 3k.
Mm-hmm.
Or the 10k, not 3.
Yeah, I think this card's cost and situational requirements are a bit high.
Mm-hmm. It is weird that, after all of this time, they, went back to that specific condition out of everything.
It's bizarre, right?
Yeah.
At the very least, it's all that is determined in the main phase, so it's not like your opponent can pull a call a field out of their ass on your turn and then prevent you from getting the restand. It's their field's empty. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we have some Glod Paladin.
Glod Paladin.
Yep.
Don't get mad. Get Glod.
Golden Knight of Glory, Idvarius. This is the Gold Paladin Stride. Has an auto. It hits. Yeah, I know. When it attacks, counterblast 1. Put all of your rest rear guards at the bottom of your deck in any order. Choose up to 2 cards from your hand. Call them to rear circle. If 4 more cards on the bottom were put on, if you put 4 more cards on the bottom of your deck at the end of battle, stand this unit gets drive -2.
And then it also has a continuous that all rear guards placed by a card ability get 5k.
Oh yeah, no, it does have that, huh? Huh. Yeah, and it also gives so the things you call will get plus 5k, and presumably some other things will get plus 5k.
So, made for going against Bredora, basically.
Yeah.
Or not decking out.
It recycles all of your rest cards, then you call 2 from hand, and then if you spin 4 or more, it stands itself, but it does lose drives. This exists.
Yeah, this card is okay, but I think Gold Paladin could just be doing better things.
Yeah.
It is their only restander, though, right? Proper restander?
I think so.
So?
Richard's probably listening to this and being like, it's this one thing you forgot.
I'll believe it.
Yeah. Like I said before, it's Gold Paladin didn't really have much recourse against Redora, aside from that one that was draw 2, call 2. And this is another thing you can do, and not much else. But it kind of needed that, so I don't really see why that would be a bad thing. That this is just not anything new. They have their Spear X, their Glorious Reigning, their Ultimate. Everything's been figured out for the most part.
I haven't heard Glorious Reigning in a long time.
That's if the game goes really, really long, and you're just all right, fuck this. Call a new board. I gotta say, this next thing might be the weirdest card in the set. Like,
are you sure?
It's in the running. So, offering Soul's Heavenly Dragon, Jagdagna Lurga.
What's the name?
That is a name. So this is for Genesis. Act on Vanguard once per turn. When it attacks, turn a card in your G zone face up. Choose any number of cards with different grades from your drop. Put them into your soul. And this gets plus 10k until end of turn.
It's an auto, but yeah.
Oh, auto, sorry. And then auto on Van. When your opponent's unit is put on guard circle other than from deck, Soul Blast 3. Retire that unit. Your opponent looks at the top card of their deck and calls it to guard circle.
Hold on. That can retire G-Guards?
Indeed it can.
Oh my god, that's so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I think this card's probably pretty alright.
Yeah. Daikaiser, but like easier.
I think this card's cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting, to say the least.
I need to read something really quick, but...
Go ahead.
The D Sentinels?
Mm-hmm.
Can they activate when placed from deck?
I think just from anywhere they can.
That'd be funny. Wouldn't that be mean?
Hang on. Yeah, when placed on guard circle, choose one of your units can't be hit if you're in those two or more. Just why? What did you have in mind? Just start running D.
I mean, my colony already does, right?
Yeah.
So you just slide them up.
That works with the draw PGs too. Like just any.
This one doesn't actually stop Sentinels because once they're placed on guard circle, like they're conditioned.
Oh,
to
that's.
pay
No, I'm just saying they could like hit one from deck.
Yeah. Like if you rip one from deck.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like in general, this can't stop PGs anyways.
But its ability to like stop G guards is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess unless it's like Denial Griffin, because that should also be able to resolve its effect.
Yeah. I think so, because it's on play, and then you just do it.
But
it's the ones that like gain shield or whatever. That's the thing you can blow up.
Oh, nice 40k G guard. Get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, on the other end, though, when you see the person go into this, you're gonna go, well, these are useless for the turn. Like you're not gonna try, right?
It depends if you have to or not, right?
Yeah, depends on whether or not your G guard has another effect too.
Or if you want, or if you have to like make your opponent spend the soul.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. At the very least, it can get that off once just by the first effect.
Mm-hmm.
So that is certainly a thing. Next one for Kagero, which I gotta say, of all the clans that we don't play, this is probably the most. So Divine Dragon Knight Barakat for Kagero. Auto on Vanguard, when it attacks, turn a card in G-Zone face up. If your opponent has 3 or more open rearguard circle, it gets plus 10k, a crit, and a drive until end of that battle. And then if they have 5 or more, all of your rearguards get plus 10.
I hate this card. It's nice that it's free, I guess, but
it's around.
I think this has it in the running for the worst card in the set.
Yeah, this doesn't even do anything to set itself up.
Nope, no blowing the board up, nothing.
Yeah, like nobody's playing like rearguard retires, are they? I guess you just have them incidentally.
Clearly, it's Eugene support.
I don't understand. I really don't.
I think they just don't know what to print for Kagero if they're not giving them a restanding Vanguard.
That is very true. Well, because it's like, it can't be Overlord. What do we do? Fuck, I don't know. Like,
they should have made an Overlord anyway.
Right.
It'd been cool.
Yeah, at this point, you could just be like Conquering, or Blazing Dragon, Dragonic Overlord, the adjective. Like, they just can't think of anything at this point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ninja cards, let's go.
So I have 3 cards in a row here. Here we go. So firstly, which one's first on the list? Nuba?
Noobs, yeah.
All right, we have Rikudo Stealth Rogue Yatsuka Lord. It has an act on Vanguard Circle. You can counterblast 1, soul blast 1. You choose 3 units from your opponent's drop. Your opponent chooses any number from among them and calls them to rearguard circle. Your opponent's card's auto ability is not activated from the call. Your opponent chooses a card from their hand for each unit called and discards it. For each card that was not called, you draw a card, and all your front row units get power plus 10,000 until end of turn. So this is your opponent calls 3 things, discards 3?
Yeah.
Or
you draw 3 and get plus 30k.
I hate how much agency your opponent has based on what their hand is.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just like...
It is very weird.
This would be pretty messed up if they still had Jamie Congo, right?
Oh, God. Yeah. That was definitely one of their big mistakes.
It would basically just be draw 3, give 30k to your front row every time.
Mm-hmm.
Alas. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this either. What is Premium Nubatama doing right now?
Nothing.
It's around. I think it's just like Dominate Light or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything that's going to be like...
I mean, I feel like they...
Shreds, but...
I mean, I guess I'm just going to make the same comment I did for Kagura. I feel like they don't actually know what to print for Nubatama cards.
Mm-hmm.
This seems to be a pattern with clans where they were fumbling around in the dark for a long time, and they're like, what do we do? Do we do the hand ripping? Do we do the dominate? Do we do the tokens? I don't understand it.
Let's do it all, or something.
Yeah, let's do it all.
Yeah, and then they've like vaguely settled on taking things out of hand, sort of, but not really.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah. All right. So next we have Tyrannical Magnate Giganoto Fellow. I think it's Giganoto Fire. If I don't know. Actually,
this looks like a craft single became a dinosaur.
It has a gun. That's all I know.
Yeah, it has a tiny dinosaur Glock.
Yeah, it has a Glock also, and its a little tiny arm. So this is a Tachikaze card. It has Engorge, which is sweet. We love to see cards with the Engorge ability for various reasons. And it also has an auto. When this unit becomes Engorge, you can counterblast 1, flip up a card in the G zone. Choose a number of rear guards as the same number of units retired by this unit's ability this turn, so they mean Engorge. Until end of turn, they get power plus 10,000, and at the end of battle, you can Soul Blast 1 and stand them, which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yes, requires a lot less commitment than Neberos did.
Yeah. I mean, Neberos still plus a bazillion.
Yeah, but you still need that setup, right? Like, where if you have, like, 2 things on board, you can at least eat one, give 10k to the other.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think this is not what Tachi needs. I think this is actually kind of just like another... Like, they keep printing effectively Anger Blader, right? Mm-hmm. Or, like, vaguely Anger Blader or whatever.
Either vaguely Anger Blader or vaguely Dogma.
And I would just like to see... like a card that like lets Tachi fix bad situations. Like, I think a really common problem with Tachi is you just have like a bunch of triggers. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, I would really like these to be anything else, or like ways to like call some units back or whatever. I don't think that would be like too outside of Tachi's realm. I just think like they're so caught up in the let's just make stuff restand and attack again.
Yeah,
we've done that a million times in this clan already.
The only way to really get anything back is like Savage Shooter, and that's as a gauge. So you have to put it under something that can be like a Regiodon or a Bluesprint, or if you have Spino Extort on board.
But he's just like a ton of extra effort, right?
Yeah,
it's like it's just a ton of work. It's not bad.
I don't know dick about Tachikaze, so you two go at it.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just like
no, it's not. There's
like, and I don't think the Neberos setup is that much, to be honest. Like you just need to draw like the stupid 0 that counterblasts 1, like calls 2 from top sec, or like the stand trigger, of course, or like any amount of Regiodons or whatever. It's pretty easy to get them set up.
One cool thing that came up was Virina Esperata. So you can make them restand twice, like that. That came up.
That is true. You can do that.
Yeah.
So you can go battle.
That is moderately amusing.
All right. So the card from Murakumo is Ambush Demon Stealth Rogue Izushio-tome. Sorry, I had to read that like 6 times. So it has a act. You can counterblast 1, put a normal unit from your drop zone at the bottom of your deck, turn a card in your G-zone face up, choose 2 of your rear guards, search your deck for up to 1 with the same name as for each of those units called, and shuffle your deck. And as a continuous, all of your units can attack from the back row while you have another unit with the same name.
This sure does exist.
I'm not sure what they're going to do with this card, actually. I'll play Kuma in a hot minute.
Yeah.
And I guess you could, make a bunch of Hyakis or something.
I feel like that's probably what you're going to end up doing, because, now that Neonatal is gone, you just have to lead more into the cloning gimmick, right?
Uh-huh.
That's just what every other Murakumo card does in some capacity.
I mean, I think the best Murakumo deck is Shiryuki, and I don't think Murakumo's that bad off, even without Nuedayo. But they really need good G-Guards in order to catch up. Their G-Guards are severely lacking.
I guess we will get to that when we get to that.
Yeah, eventually. Soon TM.
So, did you have anything else to add about this? Because Atlas is gone.
I don't know. I think this card's just okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I don't know how good or bad this card is. It's hard to gauge. But in the Shiryuki angle, I guess it could be okay.
All right. Yeah. Once again, there are too many clans. I don't know what any of them do anymore.
Fair enough. Mm-hmm.
Conquering Supreme Dragon, Exterminate Dragon. So this is the Narukami Stride. Auto, when it's placed on Vanguard Circle, Soul Blast 1, draw a card for each of your opponent's open front row rear guard circles. And then it has an act ability, Counterblast 1. All your front row units get power plus 10,000 until end of turn for each of your opponent's open front row circles.
So with this card, you basically have a no-win situation on Narukami's first stride, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can just, did you call stuff or not? If you called stuff, Sunburst. If you didn't call stuff, this card.
Yeah.
And you're kind of just,
yeah.
You get a choice, I guess.
Yep.
Which is pretty good for Narukami, I think, in this case.
Yeah, I mean, he's welcome to come into our apartment at any point. That's fine.
So I'm sorry, I've missed bits and pieces of this. It's
we're on Exterminate Dragon now.
Yep.
Exterminate Dragon.
Yep,
right?
that one right there.
That one.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys can come in at 10 a.m. No problem.
I think this card is really. I think this card's good. I mean, it's a solid Narukami card. It gives you an option if your opponent just refuses to do anything.
Yeah.
And your opponent's kind of punished for
Got
it.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll text you right
now. And that's kind of what they needed, right? If your opponent doesn't have a thing to bind, then
that's right.
All right, game on. My favorite thing is that the next card also looks like a Narukami card.
Yeah. So we have Fighting Emperor Dragon, Merciless Dragon.
This one's in English because TIE Fighter revealed it. So
yeah. It's a Nova Grappler card.
Somehow.
When your rear guard standby card ability, Counterblast 1, discard 2 from hand, stand this unit, and if it's in your main phase, attack your opponent's Vanguard. And then at the end of the battle it attacks, it gets drive -1 until end of turn.
Why would you play this card?
I have no idea. It's very random.
It's like reverse Bustard.
Kind of.
It's not good, right?
I don't think so.
This card's atrocious, right?
It doesn't lose any drive checks on the restand, but
yeah, but at the end of the battle it attack, it loses a drive, so doesn't really matter. It's going into its restand with less drives.
I strongly dislike this card.
It seems very resource intensive.
I feel like Nova Grappler can do this with virtually 3 other cards.
Yeah, I mean, they have Bustard where you just, every time something is stood, Soul Blast flips something, it gets a drive, and then if it has 5 or more drives, you can discard 3, stand it, and it gets drive -5.
Right?
So you just do that, right?
Yeah, this card sucks. I'm pretty confident.
You have to counter blast instead of soul blasting. You have to discard up front.
That's another thing.
Yeah, worst case scenario with Bustard, that card just says gain 1,000,000 drive checks, and you don't actually have to use the restand, right?
Mm-hmm.
This card, if you're not restanding it 7 times, what's even the point? But then why are... I guess the idea is that you just keep restanding this thing and hope your opponent dies.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Yeah, me neither. Nova Grappler does kind of have a thing going for it where, you kind of get benefits from having no resources. At least that's kind of the trend that G-Guards have been going in, but, I don't know if this does enough.
Right.
One thing that's funny about the where every year they pick a few YouTubers, they reveal this on their channel, and they're kind of obligated to behave like, oh, this is awesome, this is cool, you can do this with it. There's no way that any YouTuber would get it and be like, this fucking sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to pretend it's good.
You have to pretend it's good, and it's not terrible, but they have Buster, so
Yeah. Also, this doesn't facilitate any of the restands, which, for Bustard, because that was a Soul Blast, it's fine. But, here you have to, have a bunch of Counter Blasts on top of whatever you're spending to restand your rear guards. You have to have a decent number of cards in your hand to sustain the discard cost.
Yeah, and you being Nova Grappler, you're supposed to be, dropping stuff left and right to, do things, right? So, I don't know. Guess if someone figures out a way to break it, more power to you. But how about another thing that was revealed in English?
We have Cosmo Winger Unibird Galaxy,
courtesy of Different Fight.
Yep, yeah. the Dimension Police Stride. So first of all, it gets power plus 10,000 for each card total among your damage zone and rear guards.
Damn,
easy enough.
That's huge.
And then Burst. Yep, that keyword. When it attacks, you can turn a card from your G zone face up. If its power is 50,000 or more, it gets crit +1. If it's 100,000 or more, it gets drive +2. So with 3 rear guards, this card hits 50k. If you have New Laurel, this card easily clears 100.
Yeah. And
hit the Rinka on it. Question mark. GG, shake my hand.
I'm trying to think here. How much damage is someone typically out when they stride? If they get first stride, 3, 4?
I don't know. Yeah, 3-ish, 2-ish.
Yeah,
depending on how much we guarded, right?
So he's getting 20 to 30k probably.
Bare minimum.
But even with no available damage or 1 available damage, right?
Yeah.
And a full board, this card's already at 88.
Yep. And also.
And you slap
would count the power from boosting because it's on attack.
Oh yeah, but you'd probably keep a rear guard face up, right? Or a rear guard ready, right?
Yeah.
But you Laurel it up and it's 176,000 with a crit and 5 drive checks and a Rinka attached to it.
Oh, dude, that's really funny.
GG, shake my hand.
I'm guessing you like it, or
I think Dimension Police is kind of a casino deck.
Casino high roll, or
you're just rolling the dice, right? You're I'm gonna tag with this and see what happens.
Yeah,
I just think this is another one of those, right?
Although at least this one can do anything with no resources.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's a good point. And then also in a deck with so many grade 3s and die liner being die liner, even if you drive check a bunch of grade 3s, that's still shield.
And again, if you throw Link on it, you just have guard break.
Yup, you sure do. Well, it's a Sentinel break specifically, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a Sentinel break. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still pretty. Yeah, but is your opponent really gonna stop 100k plus with manual guarding?
I will say you can't do that first ride because Linka needs to be GB2, I believe, and it only flips up a rear guard on attack or a G zone card on attack.
Yep.
So your Rinka is a little restricted there, but you'll find a way.
Also, this can just flip up Geoma Glass.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, and you should start guarding with grade 3s for 8 years.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That is a good time. And, Dimension Police is already, sneaking into top 8s here and there every now and again. So this is, this can only go... the only way it can go is up.
This card is fine. It exists. But that's all it really needs to do, really.
Mm-hmm. So the next card we have is been a card of contention. Nebula Dragon, Cosmic Dawn Dragon. So this is the Link Joker card. It has an on-attack ability. Counter Blast 1, look at top 7, choose 2 cards from among them, and put them on rear as locked cards. Then choose any number of your locked cards and unlock them, and unlock each card or return it to hand. For each card returned to hand, your opponent chooses one of the rear guards and locks it. So this card's trying to bridge the gap between 4 different Link Joker archetypes.
Yeah.
But I think this card doesn't actually do what Link Joker needs it to do. Like, Link Joker needs, like, a pressure card, right?
Mm-hmm.
This card just doesn't give any power. It doesn't do anything.
It gives you 2 extra attacks if you choose to unlock. That's about it.
Okay, well, first off, it's... So, Link Joker, historically, has been weak to removal.
Okay.
This is a way to build a board out of nothing, A. And B, it gets around Gridora, because Gridora just says you can't call from hand, not you can't lock, or you can't call from anywhere except hand.
Yeah, but putting something as a locked card doesn't...
Yeah, I understand that, but, like, with crappy numbers, and, like, you need to hit Volcarona or it doesn't matter?
Pretty much. Like, you're reliant on your force circle, or you got to do, like, a column for it to matter.
Yeah, that's my problem with this card, right?
It's
like
enough.
it doesn't give you enough pressure.
Okay.
Like, if it gave power, I think this card would be, like, pretty significantly better.
Yeah.
As of now, I think Link Joker is in a rough spot, like in Premium as a whole, especially with the loss of Sync.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was just like a half measure. Like, it was a good idea, but they needed, like, a little more.
All right.
3 in a row. Let's do it.
The best card in the set. Hands down.
Yeah.
Lawless King, Galley Gabaris. All right. So this card, first of all, when a rearguard attacks, it gives it 10k and then throws it at the bottom of the deck. And it's mandatory. It has to go to the bottom of the deck. You can't just be, well, I don't want it. No, it goes to the bottom of the deck. Which is fine. That's what you want.
It's Spite Brothers. It's like
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And then it has this dumb ability for some reason. On attack, Soul Blast 1. Search your deck for 2 grade 2 or less cards. Call them to open rear. Shuffle your deck, and then all of your rear guards gain boost until the turn. Which is pretty much a throwaway line of text. All your rear guards gain boost, but it does matter occasionally. Because it sometimes gives a 20k Bracky boost, which is pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah. So this card is absolutely nutty. So Spikes, prior to the set, has been lacking a first stride that does anything relevant for a long time, and this does a lot. Proof has a video out about a combo now. What's up?
How big is the spreadsheet?
Spreadsheet's pretty large. You can get upwards of 14 attacks with this card on first
I thought 14 was the ceiling. Upwards of Jesus.
No, like up to 14, right? I don't know if there's any higher ones. It's pretty tough to get higher than that, just because there are field space considerations, basically. We're pretty limited by how many cards we can have on field, so it's hard to spend CB past 3. But if you might find a way. This card's absolutely bonkers.
So I'll try. If I remember, I'll link Living Proof's video in the description. If not, at the time of hearing this, it's his newest video. Or time of recording this.
I want you checking out.
Yeah, go check it out, because that's just one example, and it's pretty nutty.
Yeah, there's a he made a very nice spreadsheet. Unlike Yu-Gi-Oh, it's free here. Instead of paying for your spreadsheet.
Yeah.
But I recommend messing around with the combos yourself with it. There's a lot of very deep combos, especially involving Mecha Instructor, Ambush Dexter, and Dudley Davies. So this is kind of the first kind of inclusion of the Dudley engine in Premium, I think, in any relevant capacity.
That's not like trying to cheese their way to Hellheart 8.
Well, yeah. So other than the heal trigger, right?
Yeah.
And I guess the 10k vanilla.
What was I thinking of? Oh, if any Yu-Gi-Oh listeners out there, if you enjoyed Gladiator Beasts, you'll enjoy Spite Brothers.
Or I guess if you're a DDD player.
I've never used them, so...
The joke is that DDD players need a spreadsheet for their basic combo.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
That was true of Leerless players also. Don't worry. Look, all I'm saying is, you should try messing around the combos yourself. Try out making your own combos, and you'll see a lot of the lines kind of gel together pretty nicely. This deck can get a lot of things going on first stride. So there's going to be a lot of jockeying for first stride with this deck.
Yeah, well, because there's that, and then there's also the Rising Greedon thing, which has also creeped in on a few top 8s.
Yeah, so I think
Each its own
Rising...
deck.
I kind of expect Rising Greedon to fall out of favor a little bit, mostly because I think the strength, like the reason people are playing Rising Greedon is because Spike's lacked a first stride. But now that they have one, I think it kind of maybe takes over where Rising Greedon left off.
Makes sense. All right.
So, yeah.
Okay, this one was kind of disappointing too.
Deep Hades Emperor of Ultimateness Vorfalx. So it is the Dark Irregular Stride. It has a skill in the G zone. At the end of your battle, that your grade 3 Vanguard attack your opponent's grade 3 or greater Vanguard. If your Vanguard is grade 3 and your soul has 13 or more cards, they really, really, really want you to know that everyone has to be a grade 3. Counterblast 1, discard 5, stride this on Vanguard as stand from face down, and then it has an auto ability when placed. If your deck has 13 or less cards, choose up to 3 critical triggers from your soul, return to deck, and shuffle.
I'm sorry, I stopped listening at discard 5.
I know. Oh my god, that's this was meant to be a thing when Gastille was still around, and it's not, and that's a problem.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
But I like how it just has to remind. It's like at the end of the battle, your grade 3 Vanguard attack your opponent's grade 3 or greater Vanguard. If your Vanguard is grade 3, there's just something about that translation that's just highly amusing to me.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I'm not really sure how you fix DI at this point, where like they were so dependent on Gastille Daimonis, and then getting rid of it was good for the meta, but like
clearly they should unban Enigmatic Assassin.
They should not do that. Make a new Bladewing Sullivan so I can play Bladewings again.
Yeah.
I'm just going to move on to the next one.
I'm fine with that.
Trenchant Megatrick Leontina. So that's this for Pale Moon. And so auto on Van, when she attacks, counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand, put all of your rear guards into your soul, choose up to 2 unit cards from your soul for each card put, and call them to rear. If you called 4 or more cards with different grades until the end of the turn, when your opponent would call it's Battle Door. It gives a blanket Battle Door for the entire turn if you call out 4 grades with that effect.
All right.
So you got to suck 2 in to call 4 out. And
if they all have different grades, then Battle Door.
Blanket Battle Door. So this is okay. I don't think it like the fact that it doesn't have Magia means you can't combine it with what's her name? Prana? Not Prana. Oh, you're killing me. The one that calls a Magia stride after it attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you 4 drive checks, whatever. So this has to be a turn on its own, and it's like,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's fine. I think if they ever like ban what's her name, then yeah, sure, this is pretty good. It's nice that I think it's meant to be used with Harry because you can go like 1, 2, 3, Starry Pop Dragon, and then there's your 4. Otherwise, you have to do 0, 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I can take or leave it, TBH.
Sure.
So, yep. On to the next one. Highbrow Steam. How do you pronounce this? Schlishma, like I'm Sean Connery.
Yes.
So, on Van, auto, once per turn when it attacks, bind a front row rear guard and turn a card in G zone face up. Choose up to 2 cards from your bind zone, call them to rear, and all of your front row units get plus 10k. And then auto in G zone at the end of the battle that your grade 3 rear guard attacked. If this card is face up, Soul Blast, and bind that unit and call this card to rear.
I think this card is not horrendous.
I don't hate it either.
It sure does exist. They really would like you to play Steam Maidens instead of Chrono Jet for some reason.
Yeah.
The only awkward part is that, doesn't set up for all the other things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we expecting at this point?
Lives in its own world.
Wait, what lives in its own world?
This card.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I feel like they're running into the same problem as Kagero, where they don't know what to do when they can't print another Chronojet stride that restands itself.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is something where, because I don't know much about Steam Maidens or the whole time leap thing, or just like, I haven't played Gears in a long, long time. I feel like I'm not the person to comment on this. I'm just going to leave it at.
I feel like they consistently don't know what to do with Gear Chronicle after G.
I think that's generally true. But I don't think this card is bad.
It's not bad. It feels like every new wave of Gear Chronicle does something slightly different with the bind zone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I still think that people should try and lean in for that double mystery flare, just for the meme. No, not 3 turns in a row.
No.
Okay. Well, this is better. The next thing we got, it's for Grand Blue. Oh, hey, there's my 3 in a row. So Pirate King of Darkness, Bartholomew. So auto on Van when it attacks, counterblast 1. Choose up to 3 cards with different names from your drop zone. Call it to rear, and those called units get plus 5k for the turn. And then continuous on Van if your drop has 30 or more cards. Triple door, just all the time.
How often is that second one resolving?
Do you remember when we were talking? Oh, right. Patreon.com/Nexus at night. We talked about this weird scare dick build for Grand Blue.
This deck has been known about for a long time, I think.
Yeah.
But,
still.
I mean, they wouldn't even bother with this card anyway.
They wouldn't? No?
No, you just go King Obadiah or something.
Oh.
I don't expect this. I don't know how much this card will see any play. I think Grand Blue has more insane strides just at every point.
They have the boat. They have Obadiah to set up drop zone. But
and King Obadiah is just nuts, right?
Yeah. I think, like, they were missing a thing that was like, on attack, call a new board. Like, because you usually leave that to Night Rose. But in the event that you either can't afford Night Rose or didn't see it, whatever. I think this, fits a certain niche that they didn't have before.
Yeah.
Which, take a shot every time I say that sentence and you will be wasted by now. So.
It's fine. It's just... I'm not really upset that Grand Blue didn't get anything insane.
Me neither.
Not that bothered by it.
I like it better than you do, but I'm not like, it's fine.
It's been ages since I've played Grand Blue. I wouldn't be able to comment on it.
Well, how about this then?
All right, we have Radiate Ocean Heltrauda. So, auto Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks, discard 3. Return all cards on your circles other than Vanguard to your hand. Choose up to 2 cards from your hand, call them to Rearguard Circle. At the end of that battle, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Put this into your G-Zone face up, choose one of your Vanguards and stand it.
Hey, you can bounce lock cards again.
Yay.
Without having to go into Ange, yeah.
I mean, like, this stride actually does something. That's been a Bermuda problem for a while now, is that most of our strides just don't exist.
Yeah.
It's true.
Go on.
Yeah, so, like, it returns all cards to your hand, so you can do bouncing stuff. It goes back to G-Zone to and then restands your grade 3, so you can do, like, stuff with your powerful grade 3s, like Vert, and then a bunch of other ones, but probably just Vert. Or a Reindeer, I guess. Random bullshit go.
Yeah.
So that's very strong. I have been trying to do something with Pacifica. It's terrible, but I'm going to play it anyways.
You fool.
There is an extreme high roll with Riviere where there is one grade 2 from G era that lets you ride up if you're on grade 1. And then, so if you do that going first, you can ride to grade 3 and stride while your opponent is still at grade 2. So you can attack with this, restand, attack with Riviere, ride down to grade 2, restand, and then attack again. So you got like 3 Vanguard attacks, and then a bunch of extra rearguard attacks if you have the right rearguard set up, and then you block your opponent out of striding.
And that's certainly amusing.
And this is a how many card combo?
Okay, so at the bare minimum, you need to have in your opening hand the grade 1 Rivier to ride, and the grade 2 that lets you ride up. And then you also need the grade 3 Rivier to ride up into afterwards. Another copy of the... And you need the grade 2 Rivier to be able to ride down after you're on Rivier. And then if you want more rearguard attacks, then you need, like, specific rearguards.
So like a 4.5 card combo?
Yeah, at least.
Consistent as fuck.
I believe in
I'm
it.
pretty sure this is never realistically happening, but...
If you can get it to happen, I will be so proud.
Yeah, but Rivier is like $20.
Oh, Rev.
Yeah.
I think this one's in English too. Yeah, because Jaime revealed this one.
Yeah, but the Bermuda card is insane. I like it a lot.
I like it too.
Yeah. Also, like, if you play the right grade 3, you can probably just play around Gridora.
Yeah. I don't know. I have like negative knowledge yet for Bermuda, so
I can probably figure out a way around Order Colony with this card. That's all that matters. Anyways, Blue Furious Charge Dragon, Furiagris Dragon. I hate these kinds of names.
well, where it's there's so many letters that you're like, what the fuck does that say?
No, I almost want but also it's like Furiagus Dragon after the Blue Furious Charge Dragon. I almost read it as just Furious Dragon twice.
Fine. Furious Dragon. He's pissed off.
Yeah,
What's
Blue Furious Charge Dragon, Furious Dragon. Here we go. So at the end of the bell, that this unit attack. Counterblast 1, turn a card from G-Zone face up. Get an Excel gift. Choose same number of rear guards as face up cards in the G-Zone, stand them. And then choose one of your rear guards, move it to an additional open rear guard circle, and that unit gets 10k until end of turn.
So the main thing that people are excited about, it seems, is being able to make an Excel circle, which means that people are like, oh my god, you can run the Order Colony engine in Aqua Force. You're like, relax. Like,
it's so exhausting.
It's so dumb. Okay, first off, that means you are like hamstrung into going into this first stride if you want that Excel circle. Second, it means if you want to go into Genbold, you can't get the full effect off because you don't have an Excel circle.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not worth it, in my opinion. Seems like a good card, though. Seems fine.
Yeah, this card is good. Like, obviously, like, getting an Excel circle is always a good thing.
Yes. Being able to make another rearguard circle that also gets you a draw. Wow, so nice.
And then, it just restands things for not that much investment.
Yes. Yeah, you can definitely do more with less, like even more than Genbold. Because like with Genbold, sure you call 2 things rested, but if you can't really fill out the rest of the board, it's like, okay, I'll draw 2 cards, I guess, and then do nothing else. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh god. All right. Here's the thing we were fearing the whole time: poison, evil, mutant deity, Malignantes for Mega Colony. And this basically exists to make sure that Gridora has flip fodder. Act on Vanguard or in G-Zone. If this unit is on Vanguard Circle, this cost may be paid with turn a card in G-Zone face up. If this card is face up, counterblast 1, put a rear guard into Soul. So if you're on G-Zone, just turn it face up. Choose one of your opponent's standing rear guards and retire it. If a card was retired, you draw a card and countercharge 1. If no cards were retired, you choose one of your opponent's vanguards and it gets minus 10k until end of turn.
So this card is going to make Mega Colony pretty stupid, and I don't think even restricting Gridora to 1 will solve the problem. The reason is because I think 1 Gridora turn for a lot of decks is crippling enough. And then they can just stride this second stride, flip up another copy, and then activate this effect 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem when you have, like, this might be the most impactful, like, wall face up in G-Zone, do this.
Yeah.
This card just does too much. Like, it basically does everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, why does it have an effect in G-Zone?
Why does it work in the G-Zone? I think if it was just on Vanguard Circle, this card would be, like, not amazing, but fine.
Or if it was just something a little less impactful, but it's a lot. and like, I don't know. I feel like if you just outright ban Verdora, this thing is, I don't know, fine. Good, yeah.
People, I really, as a side comment, I really hate the defense. Like, if you ban Medora, Mega Colony will suck. Good.
Yeah, that's something where I feel like I had to come around on that for a while. Where like, if you do this, then the deck will suck. I'm like, that does suck for those players, but it's important for the health of the game. Like, I like Pale Moon. I play Pale Moon. If Nightmare Doll continues to be this big of a thing, and they neuter it, then that's better for the health of the game, even though like my thing isn't amazing anymore.
Yeah, I just, I mean, I'm not going to say anything right now because we're going to have to live with this card for a while anyway. But
yeah,
I'm just not excited about the prospects, I'll say.
Yeah, Brilliant Blister already like turned it up to 11. Now this is to 14. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. This card doesn't actually flip up a card, but Oh no, it can be.
It flips.
No, it does flip a card. Okay.
The
red text is
if it's on Vanguard Circle, instead of the Counterblast 1, eat a rear guard, you just turn a card face up.
Yeah, so you activate this effect 3 times on your second stride, even with Ghidorah 1.
Yeah.
And I'll minus 30k your Vanguard.
Yep.
Yeah, also the fact that this card is not like a hard once per turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if this card being a hard one per turn would be pretty nice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also think like with the ability to have 5 attacks with Verdor, like just dude, they either gotta hit the restander in the battle phase, which would be very annoying because then you're constantly playing catch up.
I mean, they could just give this the Ichigashima treatment and ban it on release.
They could.
Nah.
I think they're going to wait till end of tournament season before they do anything, whatever that thing happens to be.
Yeah.
They're going to wait till the set's out of print to do anything.
Well, this next thing I'm very excited for. So, my favorite clan, Omniscience Dragon, Caladrius for Great Nature.
It's not a dragon.
I know, it's a parrot. I've been calling it Polly this whole time. But also, when I was calling it Polly like 2 weeks ago, you said, but it's a dragon. So which side are you on?
That's what you'd like to know.
Oh my god. All right, so act on Vanguard Circle once per turn. Turn a thing face up in G zone. Choose all of your front row rear guards. They get +10 until end of turn, and at the end of the turn, retire them. And then auto on Van, when this unit attacks, Counterblast 1. Choose one of your 30k or greater powered rear guards, stand it, and it gets red text triple door until end of turn. Yeah, this thing is fantastic. I said just as much last week on our What Are We Excited to Build episode, and I don't really have much more to say about it. Just go listen to that one. Do you guys have anything else to say?
No?
Nope. Anyways, it's been an hour and we still have all of the G guards, so
that's why I'm keeping it brisk. Next one.
That's also why I'm breathing everything much faster now.
Yep.
So the Neonectar Stride, Flower Princess of Compassion, Ladislava. Act Vanguard Circle once per turn, discard a card from hand, choose one of your rear guards, search your deck for 2 cards with the same grade as that unit, reveal them. Put 1 in your hand, call the rest to... choose up to 1 to put in your hand, call the rest to rear guard circle, and then when it attacks, Counterblast 1. If you have 2 or more rear guards with the same card name as each other, choose one of them, stand them. Why are they leaning into blue now of all times?
I don't know. They just are.
Apparently this card has some shenanigans with it, but I don't know the details.
I mean, bloom cards get very big, so being able to stand 2 fairly easily is not that bad.
There's some Sicilian nonsense. That's all I got. That's the only thing I got out of it. I don't know anything about Neonectar.
Me neither.
Thinking of bloom shenanigans, those cards get really big. I'm not sure what to do with Cecilia, but I'm sure it's fine. Actually, because Cecilia can rewrite herself from rear guard, can't she?
I think so.
Yeah, so you would just restand 2 and then ride Cecilia.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Again, I don't know all the details, but I saw the Neonectar players with the spinning wheels,
Mm-hmm.
I
can see something.
The gears were turning.
I can see something coming out of this with Cecilia reverse. It's a shame that Cecilia OG is $30. I would actually kind of want to play that deck.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Anyways, I have 2 more cards to get through. So now getting into the G guard, Faithful Sacred Stab, Morgause, So when it's placed on guard circle, choose one of your grade 2 units, get shield plus 10,000, and then when it intercepts, you can counterblast 1 soul blast 1 PG.
This is so bizarre that's put on a grade 2.
I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Kind of an annoying G guard. I kind of hate the condition, but that's kind of my thoughts on
I
it.
hate the condition too. I wish she gained the shield herself because it like gives the shield to the unit, but then also gives it the intercept PG.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, like if it gained the shield plus 10 and then gave the intercept ability to something, that would be fine. I
It
don't
also
know.
means you need a grade 2 and in a position to intercept for it to be useful.
Yeah, so if your opponent like gets rid of it for whatever reason, or if you just like called a grade 3 rear guard because like Ashley can call things and get extra attacks, you like have nothing to do with this card.
Mm-hmm.
Do they
But
have? Let's see.
Also, Royal Paladin G guards fucking suck.
Oh, they do.
I mean, you play this card for sure.
Like,
as bad as it sounds.
Like, you probably have to play this card because all of the other ones either say Brave or require, like, a bunch of grade 2s or are locked exactly to Alfred and Blaster.
Yeah.
Like, Royal G guards are fucking terrible.
Yeah, like, even the Brave one is better than this, and Brave is terrible. Like, the Brave one is just, it's a PG. Which works if you're behind, but, like, how is that better than this somehow?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, poor guys.
The Flip G guard says plus 10k, and it is probably one of the best G guards Royals has.
Yep. And like, that's better than the Murakuma one, though, so.
Yeah.
All right.
So anyways, one who builds the Eightfold Fence Octagonal Magus. How many octagons do we have now?
They're
I don't know
running
nothing to say about this card other than I fucking hate it.
They're running out of shapes, dude.
Anyways, this card is fucking. When it's placed on guard circle, counterblast 1, choose 2 grades from 0 to 3, declare them, reveal the top card. If the reveal card has any of the declared grades, add it to hand, and then if you add it to hand, get shield plus 15k. This card is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
Moving on.
Does OTT have good G guards in general, or is it like, man?
Amaterasu is fine. Everything else kind of sucks.
Bummer. This one is interesting, to say the least. So, the hospital is back. Super Mobile Hospital Firmament Grants. When placed on guard circle, counterblast 3, soul blast 1. Choose a card from your damage zone and call it to guard. So, in the process, you heal something by doing that. And that's kind of all it has going for it. Like, it's a massive commitment for this G guard, and also locks you out of like the rescue G guard, for example.
Yeah, just using this stride, counter charge 3, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which you can, but like this is a one of, and you're like, all right, it does a thing, which fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's unorthodox to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, next card. Dark Dragon, Deep Griever Dragon. This is the Shadow Paladin G guard.
Love the art on this one.
When put on guard circle, you choose up to 5 grade 1s from your drop, put them on bottom of your deck. It gets shield plus 5,000 until in the battle for each card put. This card's already really good.
Like, I know, that's amazing.
I haven't even finished the effect yet.
Yeah.
If you put 5 cards, you counterblast 1 into PGs.
Dude, that's so good.
It's just good.
Yeah.
And
it
like,
kind of stalls tons of Shadow Paladin. It's just like, why give Shadow Paladin this?
The fact that like Plotmaker was the gold standard for like, this is what a good.
But Plotmaker's bad at this point, though.
Yeah, but that was originally like the gold standard for what a good G guard is, and now this is the new one. I think.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Like, does what the clan wants to do, and also just gets big shield.
Yep. And
all right.
Yeah, keep it moving.
All right. So then the Gold Paladin one is Golden Dragon, Sanctified Dragon. So when it's put on guard circle, you soul blast 1, look at top 2 cards from top of your deck, choose up to 2 units from among them, call them to guard circle, and discard the rest. If you called 1 or more grade 1 or greater cards, you draw a card.
That's not bad.
It's fine.
Like a better Slamy Flare.
Yeah, it's.
Kind
I mean,
of.
I think Slamy Flare digs a little deeper, right?
It does.
But you have to like bottom deck a unit or something.
You do. I don't think that's really a problem in Gold Paladin's case. You have like just stuff laying around that you're like, well, this is useless now. Put Din Drain back or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's good. My turn. Genesis. All right. Heavenly support, Bright Dragon, Arnavarda. So when you guard with it, put a card from your hand or rear guards into your soul, and this unit gets plus 10k shield until end of battle. Then put a total of 2 cards from your hand or rear guards into your soul. Choose one of your opponent's units, and it gets crit -2. So you do one, then the other if you want to pay the cost. So you're not like forced to do it all at once.
Yeah, but so if you go -3, you can effectively stop 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm. It's not bad.
Yeah. And you're like putting them into your soul, so it's not even a hard minus for Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis always had pretty solid G guards. So
this card's fine.
Yeah, this card's good.
Let's see. Moving on, we now have Kagura's G guard, which like Kagura has Denial Griffin, which is the gold standard for
They're not
G
going to
guards.
give him another one of those.
Yeah,
they're not going to. But this is Blaze Dragon Dance Selima. So auto, the number of cards discarded from your hand for this cost is reduced by 1 for each opponent's open rear. When it's put on guard circle, Soul Blast 1 and discard 4. Choose one of your unit. It's a PG. So
I feel like they assume Kagura can retire more efficiently than it does.
yes, or if you're going against some kind of Excel deck where they like speed Excel markers and can't fill them all, which like
I
No
can't
Excel
think of
deck
any
does
deck
it at
that
this point,
can't
though.
do that.
yeah,
Like, people are just pretty content going their 1 Excel, 1 circle.
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So it's like it's okay for like a very specific situation.
Yeah, I guess.
I feel like you
Well,
jam
well,
one of it
too.
on the like odd chance that you can actually resolve it for a low cost.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely run it because it's a PG, but I don't think you play more than 1 of this card.
I guess it works against clans that retire their own stuff.
Or like, let's say you defeat Flare, the back row, like that already reduces it by 3.
Yeah, but that assumes you can G guard multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what your deck is, you can easily pull that off. Read Great Nature, because Search and Heals, yay.
All right, here we go.
Flare like locked to overlords.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nubatama.
Nubatama.
Rakudo Stealth Rogue Moray Lord. Auto, when it's placed on guard circle, counter plus 1. It gets shield plus 5,000 until in the battle for each card in your opponent's hand. If your opponent's hand was 4 or less, you can draw a card. So basically, this will always be like a pretty large shield.
That's not bad.
It is counter blast 1, which kind of blows.
Yeah.
But it is going to be probably like a 50k shield or something most of the time.
Yeah.
Fine.
Sorry. I didn't mean
Yep.
to.
And I'm going to... so it's going to be a pretty large shield probably a good bit of the time.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll draw very often. But I do
Probably
think it'll
not.
be a large shield.
Yeah, but I mean, like getting a large shield for a G Dart is like either that or it better get you advantage. Pick one. Or you can do this one, which does both.
Well, okay, so this is the Tachikaze one. So when it's put on guard circle, you retire any number of rear guards, and this unit gets shield plus 10,000 for each unit retired. Then you draw a card for each unit with an equip gauge retired for its cost. So you can draw 2 cards, get 20k shield.
Already
If
better
you
than
retire-
Blockade Ganga.
It is definitely different than Blockade Ganga for sure. But this card's okay. I don't think it's as good as people were saying it is when it was first spoiled. But I think it's all right.
Yeah, I think straight power creep Blockade Ganga, which was pretty bad. So I'll count that as a win. It turns into this thing where you're actively not killing your own stuff in the anticipation of getting to use this, which is why bother, right?
This card would be pretty sick if half of Tachi cards didn't start with the phrase during your turn.
Yeah, you either
imagine if Steel and Magnum didn't say during your turn, and you just retired 2 of these, gave 10k to your Vanguard, drew 2 cards, had a 35k shield.
Yeah, that would be very nice.
Or it'd be so sick.
Or you got to keep Regiodon and Blue Sprints around for that to matter, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, you would be. I assume you wouldn't be retiring those if you had the option on your opponent's turn.
That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't. Obviously,
You do get random gauges on random things occasionally.
Yeah,
Mostly due to Blue Sprint and Regiodon.
that's true. Or
I have definitely had my fair share of random crits with gauges on them.
True. So you turn that into card advantage.
And then you kill them off for never.
Yeah. I think it would be funny if they had a way to all right, search a deck for a thing, put it as a gauge, because you can use Reggie Dawn and Blue Sprint to get a Dragon Empire thing that kills something, and then this turns into a denial griffin. But
small point, I do like the 10k heals in Tachikaze because sometimes you call them off of a gauge and it doesn't feel like garbage.
Why?
Because they're 10k instead of 5k.
Oh, 10k shield.
No, 10k power.
Wait. Oh, I see what you're getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, because they get called by off a Regiodon or something, right?
Right.
You're oh, cool battle.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so the Murakumo one, Murakumo needs all the help they can get.
Yes,
Ambush, Demon, Stealth, Rogue, Aizen.
That's better count.
Bleach, I guess. So auto, when it's put on guard circle, you can choose one of your. I already hate it, and it gets at the end of battle that your opponent's unit attacked. If the attack did not hit, Soul Blast 1, and you may return this unit to your hand. It's pretty good actually. Mm-hmm. Or your opponent's unit attacked, yeah. Until end of the turn, this unit gets shield plus 10,000 until end of battle for each of your units with the same name as the chosen unit. This card's going to be pretty annoying in the sense that it can kind of bounce Shiryukis that are on board.
Oh god.
So if you have a bunch of Shiryukis on board for whatever reason, i.e. the stride that was revealed before, and you just I don't know, return a Shiryuki, and then this gets a bunch of shield, and then you have a Shiryuki, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. It's something.
That is something.
This is reminding me that I read the last 100 chapters of Bleach recently, and I want that portion of my life back.
Yeah, they should have just killed Aizen instead of capturing him, huh?
Yeah, but also Kubo had a damaged tendon or something while he was writing the final arc, so it just kind of stopped.
Anyway, I think this card's okay. I don't think it's I think it's good minus somewhere in there. I don't think it's busted. I don't think it's really, really good.
Not awful.
Pretty good.
You need a lot to fix their G-Guard problem. So
yeah, I mean, it at least does plus 10k at minimum as long as you have a unit to choose. So it's still better than every other Murakumo G-Guard.
Well, also, Murakumo doesn't lose power. It doesn't lose shield for G-Guarding anymore because of the heal trigger. New heal triggers are 15.
Yeah.
So they don't lose power anymore, which is an upgrade, I think.
That is good.
God.
Well.
Okay, so Sky Guardian, Supreme Dragon, Counteract Dragon, the Narukami one. When it's placed on guard circle, choose up to 2. Your opponent chooses up to 2, binds them. If 2 were not bound until end of battle, this gets shield plus 10k, and if no cards were bound, it gets another 10k. So this card just says gain 20k shield.
That's nice.
Gains 20k shield, and when it doesn't, it's probably really bad.
Yeah.
Or if bind your crits, like you were saying.
But if it doesn't gain 20k shield, you could just G-Guard something else. So I think that's all right.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have Impede and Bulwark that is actually attainable.
I mean, it is front. I mean, they have to bind from front row, so it's not like they can just bind random garbage.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, free 20k shield all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, and then we have Medio Kaiser Stiff Need. The hell are these names? So when it's placed on guard circle, counterblast 1 or more, gets shield plus 5,000 until end of battle for each face down in your damage zone. And if you pay 2 or more for this cost, draw a card. If you pay 3 or more, draw a card. This really wants you to counterblast everything you have.
That is kind of Nova Grappler's MO. Spend a lot.
Yeah, but the other ones could get it back.
Yeah.
This one is just telling you to spend it on top of the shitload of counterblasts you were already going to spend on the new stride if you were using it.
Yeah, but if you already have 4 counterblasts down, this is just a 35k shield.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. At least the gains.
Oh, no, wait. You have to actually counterblast at least 1.
Yeah, you have to counterblast 1 at minimum. This card is kind of really bad.
This card's annoying. I just like it. I just realized that. Yeah, I just like it.
It's kind of rough. I don't know.
All right.
I don't like this card. So.
All right. Well, I have a card that we might like. Giant Armored Beast Girag Megalodus.
They brought back
Zeal.
Zeal.
On guard circle, you Soul Blast 1. Choose up to 2 grade 3 normal units from your drop and put them in your hand. And this unit gets plus 5,000 for each card put in your hand.
So just a +1. Awesome.
Yes, not only is it a plus, so you trade a grade 3 for 2 grade 3s. Or 2 not heal grade 3s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just
10K
start, you
shields.
can either set up a Ultimate Stride for Stark.
Mm-hmm.
You can also just like have a bunch of shield because of Die Liner and Giamma Glass.
Yep.
And yeah, this card just gains a bunch for you.
Yeah,
Pretty
this
good.
card seems like it's pretty ridiculous.
This card's just pretty good. It does a lot.
You know what? What more can you ask for?
I wonder how happy it is that Dimension Police just has these grade 3 triggers in their deck. Wait till we get the grade 3 promo triggers. It's going to be super cool.
Oh, this is going to bum me out.
All right, so we have Terminal Ending Darkness Big Ripper. Rip my pants. All right, so when this unit is put on guard circle, you can soul blast 1, lock 1 or more back row rear guards, and you get plus shield plus 10,000 on the battle. If you have 2 or more locked cards, draw a card.
That works on either side of the board. That's kind of
Does it? Are you sure?
Is it one of your?
Lock.
It's a cost.
Yeah, it's cost.
You can't use opponent's things for cost.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just your own board.
Mm-hmm.
And besides, you have to have 2. You have to have 2 or more lock cards to draw anyway. So, like, why would you even lock your opponent's card in that case?
Yeah.
Because it says lock any amount. I thought it was just everybody's back row locks.
Yeah, you wish, huh?
Yeah, that would be neat, but
I don't like it, but
it sure does exist.
I mean, you have to be playing a certain deck for this to be better.
Messiah, I guess? Or
Yeah, I guess.
I think they just really want people to play Messiah.
I like Messiah.
It seems that way, based on what we've seen so far.
Yeah. Or because you can do like, I don't know, lock 2, right? You get the you get the
shield and you draw.
And then you do sacrifice, you get another 3K, and then you countercharge 1 or something. It's a thing.
All right.
Here
So
we go.
Compassion Queen, Villainous Evita. So this is the Spike Brothers G-Guard, if you can't tell. So when it's put on guard circle, counterblast 1, choose 3 normal units from your drop, and this unit gets their original shield until the battle. If you chose 1 or more grade 3 cards, you draw a card, and put all the cards chosen with this effect at the bottom of your deck in any order. It's a fine card. A lot of people were saying this replaces Hecaton Gaze, which this far does not. Hecaton Gaze can put back anything, which is super, super, super important.
Put back triggers, right?
Yeah, so the funny thing is, and this comes up occasionally with Hecaton, is you'll like, now that the heals are grade 3s, because Hecaton sends back cards of different grades, so sometimes you like draw like an over trigger, like the over trigger or something, you'll guard with it, and then you'll guard with a grade 3, you'll like G-guard into Hecaton, put back the over trigger and Hecaton and the heal trigger.
That's really funny. That's
It comes up sometimes. Yeah, I think the Spike Brothers card is okay. I don't think it's like busted or anything. I think you'll draw a card a fair bit of the time. It's pretty like I've had to like sometimes you just recycle Lucifer or something. You go through a lot of Lucifers.
Yeah.
So, or any random normal unit that I tried with. This card's all right.
So
yeah. Next we have Mayhem Forcewind Princess Nerjarvis. So this is the DI one. When it's placed on guard circle, counterblast 1, choose one of your opponent's units for every 10 cards in your soul. They get crit -1. So for example, if you have 20 cards, you choose 2 cards and get crit -1. That's fine.
You choose. Oh, but you can't choose the same unit twice.
No.
that sucks. I mean, like, it's not terrible for, like, rearguard stuff, for example, like if they're restanding. Is that till end of battle or end of turn?
End of turn.
Yeah,
end of
All
turn.
of the crit -X are till end of turn, I believe, except the heal guard ones.
Okay. No, because I was going to say, if it's like let's say Nova Grappler, for example, where they're standing the same thing like 3 times, like you can just shut it off, which is nice. So that's good.
Yep.
Let's see. Pale Moon. I love the art on this one. Jester Demonic Beast Flexion Chimera. So when put on Guard Circle, put one or more cards from your hand into your soul. Not a good start. And this gets plus 10k shield until end of that battle for each card put into your soul for this cost. If 2 or more cards were put into your soul for this cost, your opponent chooses one of their standing rear guards and puts it into their soul. So obviously better if you're doing this early in the turn. Kind of a big commitment for what it is. I think this is better suited with Harry because you can draw a fuck ton of cards with the spamming Starry Pop Dragon with Excel 2 over and over and over again, and then it just, Pale Moon needed a way to get more soul, and not like in general, but like specific things like from a hand particularly, because there's not a lot of ways to do that. I don't know. Maybe it's copium, maybe it's not, but
while this take, I saw one of those cards, like Pale Moon has like a Denographer now, and I'm just like, they've had this for like forever.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, I think they already had multiple ways.
They had a few ways to do it. I think this was just a way.
Rest in peace.
Well,
sorry, wheel froze. They had a few ways to do it, but like this is the most streamlined way, I think.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
because
it's on the card, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's on the card.
card.
Yeah, it's not like a 2-3 card combo. It's just this.
Although since your opponent gets to choose anything, like they can put the least bad thing away.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna skip the next card, right?
Yeah, right.
God, this thing is just hot garbage. All right, Interdimensional Dragon, History Vision Dragon. When this is put on Guard Circle, counterblast 1, discard 1 or more cards with the sum of their grades being grade 3 or greater from your hand.
There's no counterblast 1 there.
No, there isn't. Sorry, that's later. So no counterblast, but just discarding. This unit gets plus 20k shield until end of battle. If you discarded cards with the sum of their grades being 6 or greater for the cause, counterblast 1. Choose one of your units and it can't be hit till end of battle, which is like vomit.
This card is absolute garbage. I don't think we need to say anything else about it.
This card's insulting.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the cards in your Chronicle become grade 3 and you discard them, but like, dude, that's a -3 for a PG.
I mean, yeah, it's okay at the 20k mark, right, if you have one of those.
Yeah.
But the discarding 6 and counterblast 1 for the PG is something that you might have to do, but you're not going to feel good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yep.
Grand Blue, we have Moon Singing Diabolic Princess Orania. Oriana, yeah. So when put on Guard Circle, counterblast 1, the attacking unit gets crit -1 till end of that battle for every 10 cards in your drop. So that's only for the battle as opposed to for the turn.
Well, that's true, huh?
Yeah.
And you're only choosing the one. So this is like a reverse of the DI one, where you only choose the one unit, but you can continue to decrease its criticals for every 10 card in drop.
To be fair, it is easier to get cards in your drop than into your soul.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
So, sure.
I mean, you have things that guard from drop. You have this is a very specific instance, but it's something that is nice because you don't have to commit anything else. You're just like, all right, okay, crit -3, and this no damage for me. Cool, continue. Like, it's fine.
Okay, we have Diva of Salvation, Lucrece. So, when it's placed on Guard Circle, counterblast 1, return a normal unit from rear guard to hand, perform the following based on the grade of the card returned. Grade 2 or less, it gets plus 15k shield, 3 or more, choose one of your vanguards, gets plus 5k till end of turn.
I hate that this says counterblast 1 on it.
Right? Do you ever feel like Bushiroad just puts costs on a card to give it a cost?
Every day of my life.
Much like a concert or going to college, they kind of just put it on there to say they went, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, the counterblast 1 kind of hurts, but getting 5k is pretty nice.
Yeah, like 5k for the turn is nice. Plus 15k shield otherwise is pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this card's fine.
Yep.
Anyway, we have Rebellious Heavenly Flow General, Dianera. So, when it's placed on Guard Circle, counterblast 1, perform the following based on the battle of the turn. If it's the first battle, one of your units gets plus 5k, and then if it's fourth or more, it gets shield plus 20k.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, it's fine. It's again because it's based on what your opponent's doing. The plus 5k is for the turn, so at least you get a little like permanent buff. But
I mean, this is basically just in the same tier as the BT one, right? Like they do the same thing basically. This does get more shield.
Yeah, it's just like it's a better version of what's his name, Ice Barrier Dragon or Ice Prison.
Yeah, Priscilla.
I know, right? That's what popped into my head too. It's like I forgot his name, but because usually your opponent starts off with the weaker stuff and then ramps up. So being able to go, all right, an extra 5k power for the rest of the turn makes that easier to deal with.
Like permanent power boosts are always nice.
Especially if you can pull that off early, and then later plus 20k shield is good.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, like you have to use it early for this one.
All right, constraint mutant deity. Oh god,
Mewwill.
All right, so for Mega Colony, when put on guard circle, Soul Blast 1, and it gets plus 30k shield till end of battle. Already off to a good start. Your opponent chooses any number of their rear guards and rests them. This unit gets shield minus 10k until end of battle for each unit that was rested.
So this card just always gains 30k shield.
Yeah, your opponent's the time. Yeah, your opponent's never going to be like, all right, I'm going to rest these guys. No, just fine. It's plus 30k shield. Cool.
Yep.
Like, at most, they'll probably like rest the thing behind Vanguard if they have it.
Depending on what it is.
Sure.
All right. Coming into the home stretch here, we have Omniscience Dragon Sepket Avil, which I've just been calling Advil. So when put on guard circle, counterblast 1, discard top card of your deck, perform one of the effects below depending on the card's type. So if it's a normal unit, it gets plus 20k shield until end of that battle. And then if it's a trigger unit, the card is basically a perfect card. So obviously better in Isabel, where you can guarantee that it's a PG every single time. Still pretty solid in Big Belly because like there's so much searching going on in Big Belly that most of the time you'll get the PG effect. But even if not, plus 20k shield is nothing to scoff at. So
yeah, sometimes I just hate taking the random.
Yeah, I wish they didn't decide that milling your own cards was going to be the way of Great Nature going forward. But
you would be both.
I'm sure you feel more strongly about that than I do.
I was never a fan. I do think like okay, so for Big Shield, you have Sankalpa, which is the one that like every open circle, it gives 4k to a rear guard and your vanguard, and then draws a card. So like that fulfills the purpose of like Big Shield. And then you have like Kundalini for countercharging and Ardillo for either clearing your board to make Sankalpa bigger, or if you're running Big Belly, just drawing cards.
This is being paid off by Big Shield.
I'm being paid off by Big Belly, more like.
True.
But I think it's funny because like the Stride is better with Big Belly because you can use it with like talented rhinos and stuff, and this is better with Isabel. I feel like they like walked the line of that pretty well. But that's it. All right, last card.
All right, it's me, Flower Princess of Dedication, Robertina. I'll have these names. Neonectar 1, when placed on guard circle, choose up to total of 2 normal units with the same name as each other from your drop zone or rear guard circle. Bottom deck them. If you put 2 cards, countercharge 1, and this unit gets shield plus 15k until end of battle. If only 1 card was chosen, put it on the bottom of your deck.
Okay.
I mean, this card just gets you resources, right?
Yeah.
And like, I don't think choosing 2 cards with the same name is like that hard.
For Neonectar, definitely not.
This card just like does everything. I think this card's fine.
Yeah, seems good to me.
Yep. All right, we've already gone on this for an hour and a half. Who won, who lost, and let's do the wrap up and get out of here.
Spike Brothers won because I got the coolest cards.
Yeah, I think Spike Brothers has a really good one. I think D-Police, their cards just do things. Like, just existing is good enough.
I'm trying not to talk about Mega Colony. We know how I feel about that one.
Yeah, Mega Colony is stupid. I really like the Bermuda cards. I don't know enough about any of the other clans to really care anymore.
Shadow G Guard is cool.
Yeah. I think if you got to combine both, then why are people just leaving in the middle of this thing?
Whoa, I did not mean to before.
No, I know, but just...
Yeah, well, Alice, why are you leaving them?
I don't know. What, did you do it too?
I accidentally closed the wrong browser.
Of course. All right, so... I think Spike Brother is probably in contention for a winner. Great Nature is probably up there because both things are just solid.
I mean, Mag Colony truly won, but I don't want to admit it.
Yeah, but I don't think the cards by themselves won. I think what was there before, it's like the perfect
Yeah, but
puzzle piece. Bermuda got some good stuff.
It's true.
Yep.
I do like their stride a lot.
Yeah,
The stride is really good. I just need to figure out what the best deck with it. It probably Vert, but.
Yeah. Well, to listener, who do you think won? What are you excited to play? Let us know in the comments or in the comments. Go check out last week's episode for more details on what we're excited to play. If follow us on Twitter, Instagram at Nexus at Night. We have merch. We now sell playmats. Both of those will be in the description. Thanks to Darren, Cole, Josh, Jeremy, and Mewwill for being $10 patrons. Where can they find the rest of us?
You can find me on Twitter at Wiggums, 2Gs.
You can find me at Plasma Eclipse.
You can find me at Atlas Novak on Twitter or Instagram, or you can follow my other show, Generation Dan, on Twitter.
Thanks to Elon Musk first.
Twitter. Thanks everybody for listening, and until next time, I was Atlas.
I'm still Matt.
I'm Rupier.
And